Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
All right, happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on our First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole. There's meteorologist Sharon Lansford. We want to start by taking a live look outside at the Charles Schwab Field. Omaha buzzing with anticipation. We are just hours until the first pitch in the College World Series. The pregame kicked off in Baseball Village, and of course, FanFest yesterday with more to come all weekend long.
That's right. All right, let's get to our Maria Cade out live at the Chuck this morning. Maria, what can you tell us about what's going on?
Hey, Erin and Cerise, can you even believe what I'm doing right now? I don't know if I can believe it myself. We're doing a simulation here in the United States Air Force. They are actually set up here at FanFest here for College World Series. So I'm going to have our photographer pan over and show you a little bit about what I'm seeing right now. This is virtual reality and training that people who are in the Air Force go through to prepare to do their job. So sort of a unique experience that you can have if you are coming out here to College World Series FanFest. But we want to hear from the experts, the people who get to do this every single day and can tell us a little bit more exactly about what we're going to do here. So we have Sergeant Mariah here with us. Thank you so much for being here. And tell everybody what's going on here in the setup that you all have.
Absolutely. So this is the hangar. With the hangar, it's super awesome as you were just doing an F-35 simulator. So you're going through an obstacle course. Behind us right here, we also have the KC-135 boom pods, so you can actually do air refueling while you're airborne. Behind us over here is everything mechanical, so you can fix some jet engines, and you can also deal with troubleshooting some wires as well.
Have you all ever been here at the College World Series before?
So we have been here before, but what's awesome is this is a national asset, This is the only time it's been here, so it's a unique experience for everyone.
Oh, so neat, and perfect for the 75th anniversary as well. So if people want to come out and experience it, what else do you guys have here to offer?
So we do have Air Force recruiters, so if anyone is interested in the Air Force, we will have people out here talking about the benefits we do offer. But if you go to airforce.com, it'll tell you everything we have about our national assets, where you can find them, and then where you can also find recruiting as well.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to step out of here and we can take a little bit of a walk throughout and show off some of the other simulations that you have here. So walk with me, Mariah, and tell everybody as we come over here to this section of the setup, what do we have going on over here?
Yep, so this one right here is repair for takeoff. So essentially what it is you are fixing the landing gear. So right here you'll kind of see a picture or a video of what's going on. So you're going to be working on this set right here, trying to get it completed.
And then as we move forward throughout, what do we have as we come back here?
So this thing is going to be very similar to that one, but if we go to the very back right here, this is where we're actually going to preparing the engines.
Okay, very neat. So these are used every single day for trainings, right? What do you think if somebody comes out to try and experience this? Obviously, they don't have the experience or background that you all have as people in the Air Force. What should they know to prepare and get in that mindset? Any tips you have for them?
So honestly, this is very user-friendly. If you look at the screen, it'll tell you the instructions, so everything you need. Just try your best and you'll succeed.
All right, well, thank you so much, Mariah. Really interesting look behind the scenes here. Again, this is inside the FanFest section in the center field parking lot. So if you come on down here to FanFest, you'll be able to experience all this as well. So thanks so much. We'll send it back to you.
That looks so
I know.
fun.
How did you do with the virtual reality? Did Mariah say how you did?
We'll have to check after and see how I did, right?
No, you did wonderful.
Oh, thank you. You heard it from the expert.
She has a great attitude.
Yeah.
If you try, you'll succeed. All right, Maria, thank you for your coverage all morning long. We appreciate it. It was great. All right, let's get to the weather now to see if it's going to cooperate for all the FanFest and, of course, the games at the CWS.
So much happening, so much excitement, and Mother Nature's on board. So we're looking at a great forecast. Let's take a look at that forecast here, where we have a little cloud cover in place, but nothing that's going to ruin the atmosphere down there. 66 where we are standing, and just a little bit of mugginess. You're going to notice that through the course of the day today. That's a lot like what we had yesterday, and this is where we land for our temps. Just a degree or two warmer, so 87, 88, through much of the metro. And again, in the muggy category, so you will feel some of that, but we've had much worse days as far as humidity goes when we have the baseball games going on. So when you look at what our mugginess is, combine that with the temperature that we're seeing, we still feel pretty close to the actual air temperature. So that's great news when we have that corresponding like it will. Not much in the way of wind if you're going to be sitting in the bleachers, playing accordingly for that. And you're going to need plenty of sunscreen because it is another day where we have plenty of that in place through the course of the day. And keep in mind, if you're in the bleachers, it's pretty easy to kind of get roasted as you're sitting there for hours watching the game. But aside from that, it's a great forecast. First pitch 1 o'clock between Arizona, Coastal Carolina. That's our first game. And you can see how great things are working out for that forecast. No real problems, just some clouds that pass here and there. When we get into the night game, we have been talking about the chance of maybe a stray storm, but that has even been dropped. It looks like we stay completely dry for Louisville, taking on Oregon State. No real problems there. Looks like a great summer evening. Lots to like about our first day at the College World Series. That's the kind of forecast we like to see. And temperature-wise, we'll add a few degrees as we get into our day tomorrow. We'll be right near 90 degrees for our Sunday. Daytime hours really looking like they unfold in a really good way here for any of those games that are happening weekend long.
Okay. Of course, also this weekend is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. If you're not going to be going to the College World Series, how is maybe that cookout looking for Dad on Sunday?
Yeah, so the daytime hours look pretty good.
Okay.
It's once we get to about 7 o'clock, this is when we have our best chance to see storms over the course of the weekend, is once we get past 7 p.m. Now, I will say chances increase overnight for some of those storms, but I want to show you kind of what we're looking at. Even Saturday evening, there's maybe a stray storm around. I think most of us stay dry with that. You can see how we go through the nighttime hours. All we have is maybe 1 or 2 storms that try to pop up. I think we should be in good shape as far as anything there. During the day Sunday, we have some clouds in and out, but it stays dry. Until about 7 o'clock, we have the chance to maybe try to bubble a storm up at that point. The better chances, as you're seeing, come as we get toward the overnight, the later evening and overnight. We start to bring storms in from the north and sweep those in. Some of these could get some strength to them. We're talking about some gusty winds, maybe some hail with the strongest of these. So we'll be watching that. We'll be continuing to keep you alerted to the latest with that as we get closer to that. So have your First Alert 6 weather app handy as you go about your weekend. More storm chances Monday into Tuesday. Both of those days we're talking about the morning hours and again in the evening hours. And coming up in a little bit, we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about how that plays out. And you may have noticed there some mid-90s there at the end of the 10-day forecast. So we're turning summer up to a new level.
Heating it up. All right, you got double duty today, so you're also watching the roads. How's that situation on I-80? It was a hot mess this time yesterday.
I tell you, we had maybe 3-4 crashes at different points of the commute in that same area where the construction's happening. So thankfully we're off to a better start for what we're seeing. It is still a little bit slow in that stretch. Of course, we do have the lane restrictions, and as we're picking up traffic, that is going to be something to keep in mind. Even as we go through the weekend, we're still going to be seeing this ramp close. That's expected to open after Monday. So that's still going to be a stretch that's a little slow. You can see it looks okay though right now as you're getting near L. We had delays there earlier. A little closer to 144th. Both directions showing some sluggishness, but not terrible. So hopefully we can just kind of keep that at bay. It was bright red yesterday as we had those crashes going on in this area. Only other thing really that you need to be keeping in mind this morning, it is quite slow, even slowing more than we've been showing you the last couple days right near Charles Schwab Field. That stands to reason. You've got a lot of people heading into this area, but just keep that in mind through the course of today and through the next week and a half. You're going to have a lot of pedestrians in this area, a lot of people looking for parking, driving around here, and there are some road closures too. So watch for that as you're driving around here. Have some patience, and maybe you use coming to head toward the airport to get to Abbott. Keep in mind this stretch is probably going to be pretty slow as you're heading through there. But there's the overall picture of traffic. Looks pretty good for the most part, save that I-80 stretch and right near the ball field where all the action is happening.
Glad the traffic is cooperating a bit.
Yes.
Just a bit. Okay, Jarrett, thanks. An update in meantime on the ICE operation in Omaha. The DOJ says it hasn't made any decisions yet on criminal charges, calling it an ongoing investigation. They say it started when Homeland Homeland Security conducted an audit of Glen Valley to see if employee documents were valid. Now, the DOJ says the audit revealed suspected fake IDs and social security numbers that appeared to have been stolen from U.S. citizens. During that raid, federal authorities detained 76 people. The Heartland Worker Center says the ICE operation is stalling the local economy.
What happens then is that we have paralyzed people not being able to, choosing not to leave their homes, choosing not to engage in the economy, choosing not to go to work. So the consequences now, what happens if 30% of the workforce does not show up into their construction site, right? There are real consequences for this paralysis that is happening in the community.
Center acts as an information hub for impacted families. It provides answers and options for people to ensure everybody is aware of their rights. Still ahead, a local bar's collective World Series tradition is back in action.
More about the heated competition at Rocco's Pizza when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. We are taking a live look at the Ferris wheel. We're at the Fan Fest. Of course, CWS kicking off officially today. First pitch set for 1 o'clock this afternoon. And of course, we've been talking about College World Series all week long. Today is the day. People always say with the College World Series comes those storms. Fact or fiction this time around?
Well, this time around, at least at the start of it, we hold them off.
Okay.
So it looks good for the first day. You can see we have some clouds that'll be in and out as we head through the day. We'll get our temperatures going from the 60s we have now and land about 87. A little bit of mugginess, but nothing that's all that unusual for this time of year. So really, it's about all you can ask for a first day of baseball for the College World Series. Weekend long, we mostly keep the rain chances at bay. Maybe a stray storm as we get past sunset on Saturday. I think we should get any games in without any problems there, and most of us stay dry out of that. Best chance comes after 7 p.m. for Sunday, though it's especially overnight where we would be looking at that one. So Father's Day plans should be in pretty good shape, especially if they're in the afternoon, maybe a little on the warm side near 90 degrees. We'll also be starting to increase our mugginess at that point. Here's a look at the temperatures as we go through the next couple of days. Pretty close to average, just a little bit above, but right near 90 for much of that stretch. But again, alongside that, up goes the mugginess. So as we get late Sunday into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's where you're really going to start feeling that combination of the heat and humidity a little bit more than we have at any point this year. So first alert to that, it's going to get a little toasty as we're starting off next week if you're going to any of those games. And we're also going to add in a little bit more storm chances at that point too. Now notice with the Monday, Tuesday chances, and really all these overall, they're particular windows of the day. Monday and Tuesday are in the morning and then again in the evening and overnight. So the afternoons look dry, so we should be able to get any of those games in without too much problem. This is what it looks like for how much rain we see for today, tomorrow, and into Sunday. And you're going to notice there's a chance that maybe if we get a storm, it ends up around 1/4 of an inch for sealing. I do think, well, a lot of us are going to stay dry, and most of this comes Sunday night with those. However, when we add in Monday and Tuesday, you're going to notice the colors get a whole lot deeper. We get much more possibility to bring in some pretty decent rainfall rates with some of those storms in the morning hours and then again into the evening hours. So we'll be watching that, looking at some real soakers possible, and maybe getting a stronger storm or two as we get into the evening hours with some of those around. So that's where more of the action comes and where we could potentially run into issues with maybe rain delays if the timing doesn't work out just right. Now, this is that 5-day stretch that I was just showing you. You can see the temperatures combined, and look at those lows. As those start to get up near 70, that's kind of the reflection of all that mugginess that's going to be around too.
Yeah, so heading into the weekend, Father's Day weekend, how we looking also heating things up too?
Yeah, so it looks great through the weekend as far as if you're not too terrible as far as that goes with the mugginess. That starts to step up Sunday into Monday and Tuesday, but watch what happens when we add in the next 5 days. Ooh. We get a little bit of a break there in the middle of the week, right around Wednesday, but things really starting to look like they heat up as we head toward next weekend, mid-90s, and there is the potential that we maybe end up going a little bit higher than that as well. That probably comes with a pretty good amount of mugginess too, so we could be talking about some of our first triple-digit heat index values by the time we get to next weekend.
Yeah, so it begins. All right, Jared, thank you. Well, some years the large crowds at the College World Series also bring demonstrations to downtown Omaha.
That's right. This year there's some social media chatter about using the spotlight to draw attention to the recent ICE raids. Now, we spoke with police who tell us they are prepared for any possible protests.
We are aware. Of course, we're concerned because we want everybody to be able to enjoy themselves, have a good time, and also they're allowed to get their message across. So yeah, we do have a plan. We have a plan in place if protesters come, as long as it's peaceful and they want to exercise their free speech, they're going to be allowed to do that.
Well, first alert to road closures this year for the College World Series. You'll see the road blocked off with these new barriers designed to increase safety for pedestrians. Now, 13th from Cass to Cumming will now shut down from 2 hours before the game until 1 hour after that last game. Same thing goes for Mike Fahey from 13th to 14th. A local bar's CWS tradition seems to grow every single year.
Yeah, Rocco's Pizza and Cantino hosts a heated competition. We're talking about the Jell-O shop board. The record set by LSU fans is more than $68,000. The Tigers are back this year, and we'll see if they try to stop that feat. When the competition started to get national recognition, the bar's owner realized they could use it to really help people. Part of the proceeds from every shot goes to charity. Well, today, Arizona is taking on Coastal Carolina in a rematch of that 2016 CWS final. That's at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And Louisville and A-seeded Oregon State wrap up the night at 6. As for tomorrow, the Murray State Racers take on UCLA at 1 p.m. And it is an all-SEC matchup between Arkansas and LSU in the nightcap. That is at 6.
All right.
All right, let's get ready to play ball. Coming up, we check out the latest musical at the Orpheum Theater.
Yeah, the show you do not want to miss when we come back. All right, something is starting in Omaha this weekend.
We've been singing that
I know.
all week. Want to be starting something? Anyway, a musical based on the life and songs of the King of Pop is now playing at the Orpheum Theater. Jordan Marcus plays MJ in MJ the Musical. I could see that, right? Wow. So here's a behind-the-scenes look at some of the costumes from the show. That has to be from Billie Jean, right? Wow. And you saw the glove there. That's just pretty fantastic. I'm sure there's lots of sparkle, lots of glitz, right?
How fun would it be just to even wear the costumes, let alone portray Michael Jackson himself?
These are throwbacks, I bet, from like Jackson 5 days. Oh, Rock With You. Thriller? The start of Thriller?
Yep.
Wow. Before he turns into the... Ooh, Beat It.
The jacket.
I had a Beat It jacket.
Did you?
Oh, yes. Oh, which one is that?
Didn't you wear that at the Grammys?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so fun to look at. Of course, everybody knows that one. Oh, no,
go.
I had the Thriller jacket. I didn't have the Beat It jacket. Yeah.
You had like a replica?
I did have a replica.
That's cool. Wow, that's awesome. He is a heavy. He was kind of like...
so fun.
Yeah.
So many iconic looks.
Yeah. So the person who's producing our show right now said she saw the show and she loved it.
Oh, really?
Elena saw it and she loved it. All right.
Check it out.
All right, check it out if you will. MJ, if you're interested, the musical's playing at the Orpheum through Sunday. So this weekend only, and runs out. Thank you so much for joining us. We want to wish all the fathers out there a very happy Father's Day. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your weekend.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Friday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Erin Hartley. Now to an update on your forecast and traffic with Jarrett Lansford.
And as we're getting things up and running on our Friday, congrats, we're at the weekend. Be ready for it to be a little slow right near Giles on I-80. Thankfully, things going better than yesterday's total mess of a commute in that area. Even pretty smooth travel right around L as you're heading westbound. A little bit slower as you go eastbound just past 144th, but all told, we had a much worse time of it yesterday. So I'll take this. It should hopefully hold up in good shape for us. Picking up the traffic on Dodge, Maple, but mostly moving along in good shape. Of course, it is a very important day in the Metro with the first games of the College World Series happening today. 66 where we're at for our temperature. Just a tinge of some mugginess in the air. And as we go through the morning, we'll have clouds kind of in and out, and that'll be the case all day long. But we stay dry. First game, 1 p.m., Arizona, Coastal Carolina. We're looking at warming through the 80s. Looks pretty good if you're going to be going to those games. And then in the afternoon, in the evening, Louisville against Oregon State, and we'll drift backward through the 80s. No rain chances now. Looks like it's fantastic for anyone who's going to those games. Just don't forget the sunscreen. You're going to need that as we're heading not just through today, but the next couple of days. Erin.
An update now on the ICE operation in Omaha. The DOJ says they haven't made any decisions yet on criminal charges during the raid. Federal authorities detained 76 people. The Heartland Worker Center says the ICE operation is stalling the Omaha economy.
All right, everybody, it is 7:28, and we're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then. Have a great day.